how much do steroids help? I don't do like response videos and stuff like that normally. And this actually isn't a response to any specific one because there are so many of them at this point. So apparently Renaissance periodization threw their hat into the ring. And there's a video with Mike Israetel talking about this. But also I've heard Johnny Candido talk about this even. Everyone always wants to discuss how much do steroids help? Well, and everyone always mentions, well, the Greg Knuckles article, they compared the record holders in untested versus, record holders in tested, and there's not a big difference between the two. And that's a terrible argument. That's a terrible argument for why you think that there isn't a difference. That doesn't even make sense. All that tells you is that the record holders, and I'm not making accusations here, just putting out there, the record holders don't have a difference. Okay? Now, does that mean that the people in the tested federations are simply just using them out of competition and then cycling off? Are they passing the drug tests? What would be a better question would be, what is the average squat for all tested powerlifters? And then compare that to the average squat for all untested powerlifters. See, now we're getting into a different thing because now you're also looking at the entire population of that group, right? That like, what is the average squat for all tested powerlifters? Not the outlier, not the one guy at the top. Don't look at him. Don't tell me what the one single outlier is. Look at the entire group of them, all of them, and tell me what the average squat is. Then look at the untested powerlifters. Don't tell me about the one exception at the top. Tell me what the entire group of them does. Suddenly we have a very different answer. And that also controls for the fact that obviously not everyone in tested powerlifting is on steroids, but you could probably make a very solid argument that the guy at the top is, because we keep seeing weird things like this drug-free lifter decides to compete in an untested event, and this other drug-free lifter breaks the records from open powerlifting? What? That seems odd. But rather than focus on powerlifting, let's just even look at various individuals. Mark Bell has talked about what he was able to lift before and after using. Dan Bell has talked about how much he lifted before and after using. Oh, wow, there's a big difference between their lifts when they were drug-free versus using. Most recently, John Hack. John Hack has now admitted. I'm not making any accusations. I'm only naming people who have openly admitted to using. Just to be clear. John Hack. Apparently he was drug-free before. Now he's using, and there's a huge difference between the lifts. It's not like you made just a little tiny bit of a difference. Look at Ronnie Coleman prior to using steroids and then using steroids. And I'm not just talking about his size. Look how much weight that dude lifted. Steroids only make a little difference. Only helps a little. It drives me nuts because it's always guys that are on that say shit like that. There are guys who use steroids and like, oh no, it's not the steroids. Steroids only help a little. It's my work ethic. I work harder than everyone else. Sure, it's your work ethic. Let me point something out to you. Before steroids, okay, apparently I have a moth flying around my house. Before steroids, okay, the best snatch was a 1.6 times body weight snatch. The best clean and jerk was a 2 times body weight clean and jerk. The best strict overhead press was a 1.6 times body weight. The best squat was about 3 times body weight. I think it was actually just shy of 3 times body weight. I mean like 2.9999. It was just shy of it, right? Okay. Today, those lifts don't mean shit. People snatch over 2 times body weight. They don't just clean and jerk 2 times body weight. They snatch over 2 times body weight. Look what Name did. Oh, right, yeah. 2 times body weight clean and jerk? Forget that. Once drugs came into the equation. There are guys squatting 4 times body weight. That's not even unusual anymore. That's part of competitive lifting. Like a 4 times body weight squat is not unusual. It's like, oh yeah, there are many guys that have done that. So, my goal for years has been to clean and jerk double body weight. I'm still not there. I'm not going to get there. I'm almost 40. I'm not going to get to that goal. Okay? But for the guys who are using drugs, that's not a problem for them. They get to that very, very easily, and they get well past it. Well past it. You know, look at the Olympics. Oh yes, they're all drug free because they're all drug tested, right? Yes, drug testing. Yeah. Drug testing means drug free. Sure. And that's why we have all these Olympians doing incredible things. That would be naive to think that. That would be very, very naive to think so. Listen, here's the deal. Athletes do whatever it takes to win, especially whenever their entire career and their finances and everything like that rely on it. Okay? You'll notice, look at the numbers in Olympic weightlifting for the U.S. Ain't nothing even close to what the guys are doing from other countries, where they're doing this as a full-time job and it pays their bills. Okay? Just putting that out there for you guys to think about for a second. Like, if you think steroids don't make a big difference, look at Olympic weightlifting. Okay? Just, yeah. So if you tell me, well, the top guy in the tested powerlifting, who gives a shit about one guy? One guy, he's either an outlier or he passed the drug test. And I will go so far as to say that actually, if you know anything about drug testing, you know that it's garbage. Especially for things like testosterone. I think it was Anthony Roberts who explained this. There's a testosterone to epitestosterone ratio that they look at. Okay? And a normal person has a 1-to-1 ratio. But in drug testing, they allow you to have up to a 4-to-1 ratio in the Olympics. I don't even know what it is in different powerlifting federations. I think the NFL had something insane at one point, like 15-to-1. I do believe they have lowered it now. But a normal person has a 1-to-1 ratio. That's a normal person who's not on steroids. But they provide a margin of error to prevent people from having a false positive. And so they allow up to 4-to-1. And I believe Anthony explained in this article, I remember it pretty well, that you could take up to 350 milligrams of testosterone cypionate and you would still be below the detectable threshold. 350 milligrams? A TRT dose is 100 milligrams per week. You can take 350 milligrams per week and you would still be below the threshold that you would test positive. Do you think that might have a performance-enhancing benefit? Maybe. And now what if you only got tested during competition? What? You could run 500 milligrams for most of the year, come down to 350, and you would still pass the drug test? Come on. And I realize that there's not enough money out there to do carbon isotope testing on everyone. And there's not enough money to do out-of-competition testing on everyone. Okay? But this argument that, like, steroids only help a little. Sure. You know what? I'll make an offer to you. If you believe that steroids only help a little, come off. If you think it isn't helping you, stop taking them. Like, that would be my argument. Because it's always some guy who's on them who says, oh, they only help a little bit. I'm only on a TRT dose, 350 milligrams a week. Okay, if it's only helping a little bit and it's all your work ethic, come off. Like, put your money where your mouth is. That's my challenge. I'm so tired of hearing it. I've had to hear this from people so many times. They're like, oh no, steroids don't help. Then why the fuck are you taking them? If they don't help, why are you taking it? I don't even take creatine, because I don't think creatine makes a big enough of a difference. Does creatine work? Yes, it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. But I am saying that it doesn't make a big enough of a difference that I'm going to spend my money on it. You know, beta-alanine, great. Beta-alanine works too, but I don't think it makes enough of a difference. It doesn't make a big difference, so I'm not going to waste my money on beta-alanine and creatine. So why are you spending money on drugs if they don't work? If they don't make a difference, why are you spending a lot of money on this shit? Oh, growth hormone doesn't make any difference. Then why are you spending thousands of dollars on fucking growth hormone if it doesn't make a difference? You know? So obviously it makes a difference, because otherwise you wouldn't spend the money on it. Like, that's where I'm at this point. I can't believe people keep making this argument. Oh, they only help a little bit. They don't. It's really just my work ethic. Steroids don't do anything for you. You gotta put all the work in. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and then we have studies showing that the people who didn't even work out gained more muscle than the guys who were working out just by taking 600 milligrams of testosterone. I'm so tired of this argument. You either believe, like, I'm science-based. Well, if you're science-based, then you know the fucking study shows that the people who took steroids and did not work out gained more muscle than the guys who were not taking steroids and worked out. Like, it grows muscle without you even doing anything. At 125 milligrams a week, people gain muscle even without working out. That's how effective this stuff is. You don't have to take 600 milligrams. 125 milligrams per week was enough that people gained muscle, even without working out. So what do you think whenever guys are taking 200, 300, 350, which would be below the threshold for where you test positive? Yeah. Oh, they only help a little. Sure. Then stop taking them. And I'll prove it to you right now, even like this. Like, look at natural bodybuilders versus the guys that step on the stage for the Olympia. Look at the size difference. Look at the strength difference. Look how much they lift whenever they're training in the gym. You think they don't make a big difference, but you can see it real quick. A guy who's truly natural doesn't lift anything even close to what the guys who are on. So, this is ridiculous. I can't even believe people are still having this discussion. It's like, they barely help. They don't make much of a difference. Really? Because all the researchers, they make a huge fucking difference. No, they don't make a difference, because the difference between the guys who are at the top of this federation and the guys at the top of this federation, forget that. Look at the research studies. They make a huge difference. I'm so tired of hearing it. I don't know what else I can say to point out to people that how ridiculous this argument even is. Like, people risk their entire careers. People risk fucking getting arrested for this shit. If it doesn't work, why would people take those risks? Why would you risk your health? That would seem stupid. Oh, yeah, it gives you barely any boost at all, but I'm going to risk ending up in fucking prison for it. I'm going to risk my career over it. Really? Come on, guys. That's all I got for you. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you don't like the video, dislike the goddamn video. Comment below and tell me why steroids didn't help. Comment below and tell me all about your work ethic. Oh, it's just my work ethic. The steroids didn't help me at all. Comment below. Tell me why. Tell me why they didn't make any difference for you. And if they didn't make any difference for you, why are you taking them? Yeah. Comment that below. Tell me why you take them even though they don't make a difference. Go ahead. Subscribe to the channel if you guys like this stuff. I don't know. I actually don't really like this conversation. I hate steroids. I think it's terrible, because anytime someone accomplishes something, the first thing people do is go, oh, steroids. And it's like, it's just bad on both sides. There's no way for us to ever have an intelligent conversation anymore about this. And just to be clear, I don't have any moral judgment. Okay, we're going to legalize marijuana. Well, then steroids should be legal too. I don't think it makes any sense for us to be, like, you can see how well prohibition worked for alcohol. There's my political opinion for you guys. Ooh, politics. Yeah, I don't really think it's a political opinion. I'm just stating a fact. Prohibition didn't work. So, I don't really think that prohibition of anything actually works. I don't think you can just ban drugs and make them disappear. The drug war is not like it's this incredibly successful thing. No one smokes pot. There has to be a different solution. I don't know what the solution is. I'm not a very intelligent person. If I knew what the solution was, I would tell you. I don't. But what I do know is I know what doesn't work, and I know that prohibition doesn't work. I don't know what would work. Like I said, I'm not smart enough. If I knew the solution, I'd tell you. But I know what doesn't work. So, I do know that steroids do work. How about that? So, that's why people take them. Anyways, there you guys have it. That's my entire thought process on the entire thing. And I don't know. I'm sure someone out there is going to be really offended because they're like, no, it's just my work ethic. And it's like, sure, buddy. Stop taking them then. We'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I realize this one wasn't humorous or anything. I'm just being honest with you. And maybe that's the most important thing. We need people to be more honest.